My name is Dr. Eric Fields. I'm a licensed psychologist who has been specializing in addiction for over 20 years. And you know what? I have a really great success rate. I can't tell you how many people I have helped overcome addiction, especially alcohol addiction. So now I want to help the parents of those people who are struggling with an alcohol addiction because you, as parents, need help too. Now, I'm willing to bet you that you're watching this video right now because your kid, whether they are 20 years old, in their 30s, or in their 40s, doesn't matter, but you are watching this video because your kid is not ready to get help. But you are. You're motivated. You are in pain. You just can't take another drunken phone call from your kid or to see the sight of them completely inebriated or just hearing about their struggles, either from them or from other people. And I'm sure you've gotten tons of advice from well-intentioned family members or friends. But you know what? Your family and friends don't really have the skills to advise you. When you are a parent of a kid who's struggling with an alcohol addiction, you need to learn certain kinds of tools in order to work with your kid, to communicate with them in the right way so that they are actually willing to hear you. Skills to help you rebuild the relationship so that it's not the type of relationship where you guys are not on the same page, where you are working together, not working apart. And these skills you're not going to learn from family and friends. You're not going to learn on the internet. And let me tell you, there's tons of misinformation out there on the internet. You will rack your brains out trying to find good, solid advice when it comes to this subject. And this is such an important subject. I call you the forgotten ones. As parents with kids with an alcohol addiction, you are the forgotten ones because there's a lot of help out there for people who are struggling with alcohol. But there's not a lot of help out there for their parents. And so what are you supposed to do? Just sit at home with anxiety every day, waiting for the other shoe to drop, waiting for your kid to hit rock bottom? Sometimes you've gotten really bad advice like, you need to practice tough love. Just distance yourself from your kid. And that's not right. Or you've gotten advice in the other direction. Your kid has a disease, they're so helpless, you have to do everything for them. And that's not right. Tough love approaches, or approaches where you're doing all the legwork for your kid to try to get them help, are not going to be successful. And the guilt-inducing approach doesn't work either. I'm sure you've already tried that, lecturing for hours and hours how much pain your kid is causing you because of their alcohol addiction. And I'm sure you already know the angry tirades and fights and conflicts that have just happened between you and them. You already know that that doesn't work. So what I do is I help teach you skills and strategies that actually do work because they are backed by research. These are the best techniques to learn if you want to help your son or daughter overcome their alcohol addiction. Now, of course, I can't guarantee you that they're going to get the help that they need. But I can tell you this, the skills and strategies that I'm going to teach you as a parent, they will stand the greatest chance of success in terms of your kid wanting to actually get the help that they need. These skills and strategies will greatly increase the likelihood that your son or daughter fixes this problem. I'm sure as a parent, that sounds really great to you, but you may not be that convinced. So let me just tell you this. The kind of style in terms of how you need to relate to your son and daughter has to do with you not being a pushover, and it doesn't have to do with you being mean or harsh or punitive. It has to do with you conveying that you understand their struggles. And guess what? That's the first lesson I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you why they're struggling so you don't look at them as kids who are intentionally trying to mess up their lives. First and foremost, in order to be in the mindset to rebuild that relationship so that it becomes one that is like a team, you need to understand the functions of their alcohol addiction. In other words, why they do what they do and why it's so difficult for them to stop it. Because once you understand that, you'll have a lot more empathy and compassion for them. And you will understand right off the bat why the other approaches that everyone else has been espousing, including the internet, do not work. Your child needs help. Again, whether they're in their 20s, 30s, or 40s, they need help. And I'm sure on some level they acknowledge that. But they're just not so motivated to get the help right now. And when I explain to you why it's so difficult for them to reach out and get help right now, again, you're going to gain a greater understanding of exactly why they're struggling the way that they are. Once you understand that, then you need skills and strategies to actually be able to communicate in the most healthy and productive, positive manner. And it doesn't mean that you don't talk about the impact that their behavior has on you. And it doesn't mean that you do not try to actively work with them. It's not a passive approach, but it's an approach that is going to stand the best shot of really reaching them in terms of them listening to you, wanting to work with you, wanting to be a team with you, and ultimately getting the help that they need. There are specific ways to communicate with your kid right now in order to get them from not wanting to get help to actually doing something about the problem. It has a lot of tact involved. It's not manipulative, but it's tactful, like I said. It's a very effective way of turning this relationship around. Because right now, it's like this. And we want it to be like this, working together. Right? Here's you and here's your kid. And here's the problem. Right? Standing in the way of both of you. My approach positions you and your kid here with the problem here. So that you and your kid are looking at the problem like, yeah, there's that issue. There's that issue we have. How do we solve this? And isn't that a better position to be in? Working together as a team? I'm not saying it's going to be smooth sailing once you learn these techniques. Sure, there will be some turbulence. Sure, you're human. You'll revert back to some past behaviors. But whenever that happens, I'm going to get you back on track. I'm going to get you back in that mindset that I've been helping you achieve. That's how I'm going to support you. Not only by teaching you all these effective communication and relationship building skills, but also supporting you each and every step of the way. Because I know there are going to be some missteps. Of course, you're learning new skills and strategies, and this is a very emotionally arousing situation. And when we are in emotionally arousing situations, we don't always access our objective, wise mind. And I'm going to teach you how to stay in wise mind. You know, the part of your mind that really knows what you need to be doing, as opposed to the emotional part of your mind that is feeling based and just does what it feels. We don't want you to do what you feel. We want you to do what you know is the right approach, which is what I'm going to teach you. Now, if this sounds good, what I would say the next step for you to do is to book a call with me and let's spend some time getting to know each other. This gives me an opportunity to get to know you and your particular struggles, because at the end of the day, your kid is an individual. I don't lump people into a category. Oh, person with an alcohol addiction. Yep, they're all the same. That's not my style. I'm individualistic. You have a very specific type of problem. Your kid is not like every other person with an alcohol addiction. In some ways, there are some generalities, of course, but the reason why your kid is stuck is for very personal reasons. Reasons that are important to your son or daughter. And the reason why you're struggling so much is because of your own struggles and difficulties. And I'm not lumping you into a category either. Oh, yes, typical parent with a kid with an addiction problem. No. So while my strategies and skills can help anybody as a parent with a struggling kid, they need to be tailored to you and your situation. And so when we have that call, I'm going to be telling you exactly how I can specifically help you in your situation with your kid. And if I can help you, if I don't think I can help you in this situation, I'm going to give you some advice on what I think you should do. But I'm also going to be honest with you and tell you I don't think my help is the kind of help you need. I'm not a salesperson. I'm a psychologist, and I'm here to help people, not sell myself. So at the end of the call, I'm going to leave it up to you as to whether or not you want to work with me. I'm not going to be pushy. I'm not going to try to force you to make a decision during the phone call like I'm sure you've experienced before. You know, this is a helping profession that I'm in. It's not a marketing profession. So if you're interested in learning more about how I can help you and getting to know me more and my approach, the next step, like I said, is to book a call with me. I hope to hear from you. I really, really, really feel confident that there are so many people in your position that I can really help have life changing success. And finally, get your kid the help that they need. This is Dr. Eric Fields. I hope to hear from you.